everyone, welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. In today's video, we are renovating Penny Pizzazz's apartment. So you can see the address in the top left-hand corner. We're in San Myshuno, and again, this is the apartment that Penny Pizzazz normally lives in. I wasn't really thinking of her throughout this entire build. I wasn't really imagining that she was specifically the one that was going to live here. I was basically just picturing a young female single that is very outgoing and very vibrant in both her personality and clearly her decor styles, as I am trying to use the Decor to the Max kit that just came out a few days ago. And so that was really my inspiration behind this apartment. The reason I decided to do an apartment is because when I was looking at the Decor to the Max stuff, I had a really hard time envisioning what the exterior of a house would look like that utilized all of this stuff. And so eventually I just decided, well, if I do an apartment, I don't have to do an exterior. So that solves that, and here we are. But we're starting off with the kitchen. I do go back and do all of the kitchen cluttering. Right now, we're just focusing on getting the layout done and then just a few little decor pieces. But the kitchen is the place that takes me the most time to decorate, so I ended up saving that for last. But as you might have noticed, I started off with the layout, which I did not film because it actually took me a bit of time. It actually took me a lot of time. So I did that off camera and I figured it out, but I eventually just landed on kind of flip-flopping the whole apartment around. If you guys are familiar with the apartment as it is in the game when you first load it in, it's more of like a studio space. So the kitchen is where the bedroom is in my build and vice versa. The area that you walk into is the main kind of like living area and bedroom. There's no true bedroom. It's more of a studio apartment. So that's the first thing I wanted to do, was make sure that it actually had like a true bedroom. And I felt that the bedroom just kind of fit better tucked behind that elevator space, because that elevator right there is not actually part of the apartment. I can't change that or move it. And I felt like the bathroom just kind of fit really well behind there. And then I wanted it to be an ensuite bathroom, which is why the bedroom is where it is. But I like this layout a lot better. I feel like it suits better for an outgoing, very friendly, social sim, because I imagine they're going to want their friends over a lot and want to hang out. And the main living area is where that is going to happen. So that's why I put the little bar seating area. My thought being that, while somebody's in the kitchen, she could be making drinks or snacks or appetizers for her friends, and they could be sitting at that little bar area and hanging out, or they could come over for dinner and be at the dining table. And if somebody has to like run into the kitchen, or if the owner of the apartment is making something, she doesn't have to be disconnected from all of her friends. Same thing if they're kind of hanging out in the living room and stuff. It's just a nice open kind of social space, in my opinion. So that's really what I was going for. I put together this apartment pretty quick. I must say, I do find myself enjoying the Decor to the Max kit items much more than I thought I would. I'm a very neutral, natural colors, but not over the top in my own personal decor choices, like my own personal house. I don't have anything that's close to this, and it stresses me out thinking about it because it's just much too busy, much too bright. But I found myself enjoying this a little bit more than I thought, because it came pretty easy to me. I specifically love that flooring that we're using in the kitchen and dining room space, the kind of geometric pattern to it, and the yellow color I really, really like. I decided to use I think it's from Eco Lifestyle floorboards, both in the bedroom and in the living space, just to kind of tone it down a bit. As much as I wanted this to be a loud, bright apartment, in fact, that's actually what I named the file, is loud apartment, as I was recording. I wanted to give it some breaks, and I wanted it to be kind of realistic in a sense where, like, to utilize the bright patterns in moderation and not have it just be absolutely everywhere all the time. And I think this apartment has a really good balance of that, where it's got all, obviously, the loud pieces, all the color, all the pattern on pattern, but it's got a little bit of breaks in it so that it's not too over the top. At least that's what I was going for, so hopefully I hit that. Hopefully you guys can see that in this build. The bedroom is a little bit toned down in comparison to the living space, the kitchen, and the dining room, because I thought this needed to be a little bit more of a calmer space. So I went ahead and just flip-flopped, and because we're using more of the neutral floorboards in here, we're using the yellow on the walls, and then of course the accents of pink throughout the apartment. So pink and yellow are very clearly our kind of theme colors that we're using here, but the bedroom, that the wallpaper still has a pattern to it, but I wanted it to be, again, like I said, a little bit calmer, just thinking like this is where you go to relax, to go to bed. And so I didn't want it to be too over the top, but I'm using a lot of, actually, in fact, a lot of Dream Home Decorator. I find that a lot of those objects go really, really well with this style, with the Decor to the Max kit. Excuse me. Lots of Dream Home Decorator. I use Jungle Adventure and Snowy Escape as well. And then lots of like Eco Lifestyle and City Living. Of course, you have to use City Living because it's an apartment, so I wouldn't have that if I didn't have City Living. But I originally was going to try and keep it more of a limited pack build, but then I got carried away. I was having too much fun that I didn't want to limit myself. Let me know in the comments down below if you are interested in limited pack builds and what packs you would be interested in seeing built with. I understand that there are a lot of content packs for The Sims already, and not every simmer can afford all of them, which I completely understand. It is a bit ridiculous how many expansion packs and game packs and all that kind of stuff we have for The Sims 4 now, but let me know what your favorites are and what you'd be interested in seeing, because I am definitely interested in kind of challenging myself and picking 2-3 packs and sticking to just those. Of course, there are some packs that go better with others, but I'm interested to see what you guys have to say. We're finishing off the bedroom here, and I was having a little bit of a difficult time deciding what should go behind the bed, so I end up on just some like decorative wood vertical pieces and some lights on either side of the bed. I'm gonna do it eventually here because I don't actually like that painting. I don't feel like it really fits the style, but here I'm finding some lights, and of course the ones from Dream Home Decorator work perfect. And then just kind of moving the bed around, and I find these little vertical wood thingies, and I think it looks great. We are gonna do the bathroom and then head back to the kitchen and do some clutter, but as we do that, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Decor to the Max kit in general. So I actually, like I said, found myself enjoying it a bit more than I thought I would. Let me know what you guys think down below, but I was actually rather impressed with a lot of the pieces. They are obviously loud and very patterned and brightly colored, but the Sims team did a good job, I think, at including some plain swatches for a lot of the pieces. So like things like the coffee table or the lamp that we used in the living room have plain like white, plain black swatches that would be versatile in a lot of different builds. So I think they did a good job at that. So you can kind of tone it down when you want to, or go over the top when you want to. And I really enjoy that because it makes it a good option for a variety of players and a variety of different builds. It doesn't have to just stick to this one specific style. You can kind of use it in some other builds. That being said, modern and also mid-century are the two builds that I have been wanting to do in these last couple days or so. I don't know why. I just have felt the desire to build like a mid-century kind of like maybe 70s or 80s kind of build, and then modern as well, because it's very different from what I normally like to build. So Some of these pieces I do think will go pretty well with that, especially the mid-century. I like that the lamp reminds me of kind of like a 70s feeling house. The reason I went with an apartment on this one, I wanted to be able to utilize all the pieces and kind of just test them out. So all the new objects and things like that, and use them in all their bright colors and fun patterns. But I was having a really hard time deciding what a house would look like on the outside if it had all of this on the inside. So I was really struggling to find inspiration for that. So that's why I eventually decided that I would just do an apartment, because then I could just focus on the inside, the interior, and using all of the objects and not have to worry about what the exterior would look like. So that's why we are here building an apartment. The last thing that I kind of wanted to talk about in this voiceover, I was thinking about it as I sat down, but one thing that I've noticed is that the Sims team, they seem to be churning out packs left and right, and I almost feel like it's a little too fast, too quick. You know, we just got My Wedding Stories, and then all of a sudden a kit comes out, and I almost feel like it doesn't give any of the DLC, any of the expansions room to breathe. I don't feel like we really get to like enjoy and settle into any of these packs. They just kind of keep firing them at you, and I almost feel like it takes away some of the hype because it's like too much too frequently, where people are kind of desensitized to an announcement for a new pack. I don't know, you know, the marketing people over at EA and Sims clearly know what they're doing. I'm sure they're doing just fine, but that's just how I feel as a player. I just feel like it's too much thrown at me all at once, and I'm curious to hear what you guys think. If you guys feel the same, or if I'm just weird and you guys would love to have way more packs thrown at us, or if this is a perfect amount and you just enjoy the new content all the time. But just keeping in mind too, something I try to remember is that obviously the packs cost money, and so the more they throw at you, the more it maybe might make people feel a little left out if you can't afford a certain pack or you can't afford them at that frequency. You feel like you're being a little bit left behind. Just stuff I was thinking about today. So do let me know how you guys feel about that down below. But we've moved on to the very last part of this build. So just cluttering the kitchen and all the normal stuff that I normally do. Those plates are perfect. And like I said, I tried, at least I think I mentioned this, I was trying to make this a limited pack build to start, but I just got carried away in loving all of my normal build pieces that I just let myself kind of go crazy. And one thing that I really hate is that one object like those plates is from Snowy Escape. And although actually that might be the only Snowy Escape thing I use. So my point being is that if you want just those two little clutter objects, it's an entire pack that goes with that. So that's one of the driving factors behind why I kind of want to try a limited pack build, because that's a little bit excessive in my opinion, is like one pack for those two little pieces. Clearly the main packs that I'm using here are the Decor to the Max kit, the City Living, and Dream Home Decorator, and then a little bit of Jungle Adventure as well. And I think Eco Lifestyle is in here. Well, Eco Lifestyle is in here because of the flooring. But where a lot of those extra packs come in is in little clutter objects like that, because I feel like there's a lot of packs, a lot of stuff packs in specific that have like one really key item that I love using, and then it has to be in the build, you know? So yeah, just thinking about that. We are almost finishing up here and talking about packs and things like that. All of the packs that I do use are listed down below, and I will try my very best to get this up on the gallery. I know apartments can be a little bit weird, but my gallery ID is YTSimplySimming, and I do try to upload everything I build on there so that you guys can play with it. I'll end up having to remove a couple walls and make this all one room to hopefully make it work, and that way you guys can play with this in your game. I didn't play test it or anything, but honestly, there's nothing in here that seems like it might not work, except for maybe some of the dining chairs. They might not be able to get to the second set of chairs, just kind of the front two. But hopefully it's not too much of a problem for you guys if I do end up getting this up there and you guys do end up being able to play with it. But yeah, so that is pretty much it for the build. We're gonna finish up on this little side table and then go over and put a couple things on the coffee table just to kind of finish up the clutter. And then that's going to be it for the build. Do let me know what you guys think, and if you made it this far and are enjoying the video, consider leaving a like down below and hitting that subscribe button if you're interested in any more Sims 4 content. All the links to my social medias are in the description, as well as the link to my first channel, or my other channel, Simply Savannah, where we cover more simulation creative games. So I hope to see you guys over there as well. And as we finish this up, just before we get into some end glamour shots, some screenshots of the build, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye!